Hey guys, what's up? Just doing a little update on this thing. I've been messing around with it quite a bit lately. Got quite a lot of work done to it. Made a lot of improvements. Uh, I'm I'm relatively sure I've been around 150 decibels for a while with the doors open or with the windows open and stuff. But the improvements I've made now have actually stiffened it up quite a bit more, so it's more, it's more solid. It's not a whole lot louder, but it's just sounds better, cleaner. So I thought I'd run through and show you a couple things that I've done real quick. Um, I've got a flashlight here, I think, so I can get you a little bit of a view. Can't really see well. I got this. Uh, I've had, basically the big three done for a while. I got a couple of different 8 gauges or 4 gauges or whatever they are off my alternator post that go right down here to this connector. Um, and then I put cleaned this up real good yesterday. I put a big ground right from my alternator bracket that runs up here to the body, where obviously I scratched it all off again, got that nice and clean and tight. Because all I had was this one little ground strap. You see that ground strap there running to my engine, and I actually felt it, and it was like hot, smoking hot from trying to run all the current for the system. So I'll just give you a quick run through of what I got in this thing for you guys that are newer and haven't seen it, or people that haven't followed along or whatever. I got just a cheap battery in the front. It's a 700 cold cranking amp 78 series battery. It's 1,000 amps, I think. I got 2 runs of 4 gauge, or 1 4 and 1 6, or something like that I had originally had in my system that are running to the back. One of those now goes to my distribution block, and one of them goes to my small amp. So my small amp pulls off of this battery instead of the back battery, to run my sound speakers. It's a 400 RMS Sony. So then I got this 2 gauge that runs off my alternator charge post right here, and that one runs back for my big amp. It runs back to the big battery to charge the big battery. So I'll come back here and show you a little bit of what's going on there, so you got a little clue. So it comes back here. My 2 gauge comes from the alternator and charges my big marine grade battery I got in the back here. It's, I think, like 845 cold cranking amps. No, that's the marine cranking amps. So it's higher than, it's like 1200 amps or something, I think. I can't remember exactly. 122 amp hours. It's a big mean battery, and it does good. It holds up real good, especially now that I got that big ground wire on my alternator. That made a huge difference, putting that big ground wire on. So anyways, as you can see, I guess I got that one going here, don't I? So I got 2 powers going into this battery. I got 1 power that runs up and goes into that's right, that goes into this distribution block. And then, see, my amplifiers only accept 4 gauge. Well, this one will accept anything you can put a ring terminal on, but the audio pipe, my big amp, the Class D, it only accepts 4 gauge. So I run 4 gauge off this distribution block that runs right into the amp. And that's got 0 gauge going from the big battery into the distribution block. So it's fed with 0 gauge, and then I got a 0 gauge ground that comes off of the big battery and runs down here and hooks to a ground right here by the battery. So it's like 10 inches long or whatever. And then, of course, I got the Sony Explode 1,000 watts. I think it's only like 300 or 400 watts RMS, but I got that hooked up to Sony Explode 6x9s and Sony Explode 4x6s and Sony Explode 6.5s. And these tweeters, which are Neo cheapos. And I got a Sony Explode head unit. So yeah, I got really cheap sounds in this thing, but the subs are where it's at. Right now, this was just kind of a test bed to see how I liked a wall, see how loud it was going to be. So yeah, I got the 1 DD3518, the 2 DD510s, which are very impressive, guys. If you're looking for a cheap subwoofer, these are $110 a piece, and just with those by themselves in the proper box are really, really impressive subwoofers. They're very, very loud. I did do some reporting work on my box. I guess I'll have to make this 2 separate videos since this one's going up over 5 minutes already. I was going to do a cruise vid, but I'll do that with the other camera. I did have this, I got this bottom one. It's an 8-inch port all the way back, 8-inch opening, 8-inch, 8-inch, 8-inch. It's about 30 to 32 hertz. 31, 32 hertz on the 18, which is, the 18 is in a separate enclosure. As you can see, it's different. It's not all the same piece. It's got a divider that divides the 2 boxes. And then my 10s, I had those tuned up around 55 or 60 hertz the last 2 times I went to the bass contest. And now I know that was a mistake, because I've read a lot of information that tells me you got to be a lot closer to the FS on these. And these are like 34 hertz or something. Okay, when DD recommends you run everything at 40 hertz. So this one I got tuned right now at 39 hertz. I put a new board in here, as you can see, which makes this about a 7-inch wide port, which goes back to 7-inch wide opening, which makes it a 39 hertz tuning in this 5 cubic foot box on the top, which made a heck of a difference, because it booms hard at your head now and your waist instead of just feeling like it's picking you up. This 18 hits so hard down here low that it feels like it picks a seat up off the floor. But now the 10s have kicked in, and they're doing just as hard up here on the top since I redid this port. So I'm going to throw my camera up on the dash, take a cruise, and show you the difference in flex, because it made a heck of a difference. Peace out, guys. Team Implode Audio for the win.